Good Tuesday morning to you all. It's John. You're watching the Kaiser Report. Welcome back, and I hope you're all having a great Tuesday. Well, if you've been watching the news and if you've been reading anything on social media, you'll find out quickly that the conspiracy theories are running rampant. There's all kinds of stories out there about the shooting on Saturday and who pushed it, who did this, was it a fake, blah, blah, blah. How can anyone in their right mind come out and say that it was set up by Trump and be a fake for his benefit? When a person lost a life, a wife lost a husband, children lost a father, and you want to make this about a theory that Trump's campaign did this? Highly doubtful. But continue on with what you think, because there's an awful lot of opinions out there, none of them very valid. But no worries on our part, because Mayorkas is in charge of the investigation along with Ray from the FBI, which we'll quickly find out we'll never have an answer to this, because the cover-up machine is right there between the both of them on everything that's transpired, all the lawfare stuff that's transpired, all the fact that RFK Jr. doesn't still have Secret Service protection to go out and campaign like he should be doing. But
let me think about that.
Yeah, run with your conspiracy theories about who set up what. Go with Morning Joe. He's back on the air this morning. MSNBC didn't have the chutzpah to keep him down and out, even though he has promoted the weak-minded individuals that watch him, whip them up into a frenzy about Trump hating, and that Trump is Hitler and needs to be dealt with. Well, they tried to deal with him. Thanks, Joe and Mika, for all you do for the United States.
This is some bullshit.
You shouldn't be on the air. MSNBC should be ashamed of themselves, and their parent, NBC, is no darn better. It's unbelievable what you can get away with saying with FCC-controlled networks today. The lies that you're allowed to come out with continually to the public, and no one slaps your hand for it or chastises you as a network for getting away with that. It's unbelievable. It's almost as bad as what happens with burning of flags and these demonstrations that you go out, mainstream media goes out and films and puts them proudly on the air of how they're burning the flags, right down to when they lighted it with lighter fluid or whatever fluid they're putting on it. They revel in that. But here's a situation, and I'm not sure where it took place. It was either Colorado or Oregon or a place like that, where during Pride Month they painted a road with the pride flag, and some idiot in a hot rod car decided to do a burnout on it. They caught this guy. They brought him up on charges and gave him jail time and a big fine for a hate crime because he desecrated the pride flag. But yet the same networks that reveled in that make you watch them burn American flags every day of these protests. That used to be a thing that no one would do. There's a proper method of burning a flag that's no longer usable. Maybe you should research that. And there should be a crime for doing that. That's a hate crime in itself. They're telling you they hate America. And mainstream media revels in it. All of these people on The View, Rachel Maddow over on that channel, Morning Joe, all of these, Lester Holt, and the rest of them revel in telling you about how to hate somebody and then tell you how great the Democratic Party is.
What is this crap?
Who do they work for? There are no more journalists. There are a whole bunch of actors with scripts that are written by somebody upstairs that is probably, in the bag with somebody, and then you have to listen to it, and they report it like it's God-sent truth, and it's not. It's like the interview with Lester Holt yesterday with Joe Biden. He lies about what he said about the target. Oh, no, I didn't mean the bullseye. What I was trying to say was you got to put them in the crosshairs. Well, what do you think the crosshairs are, Joe? And then he lied and said he didn't say it. Then he said he said it, but he was misunderstood, and that's not what he meant. This guy lies every day with abandon. Right to your face. And so does most of his administration. But yet he gets up there and says, continually starts on with Holt about that Trump said that he was going to be the dictator from day one. That's a lie. It's been disproven. The same as the they were all fine people thing the last election. Come on.
That stinks.
It's not true. He knows it's not true. He's been told to stop saying it, but he can't help himself. He's a pathological liar and has been through his entire political career.
Liar! Liar! Liar!
The man almost was killed. And he thinks because he made a phone call to him and he, Donald is okay, that that's going to fix everything? I don't think so. And for these newscasters that continue, well, now they're going to be all over J.D. Vance because they don't like him for various reasons. And they're going to use everything under the sun against him to make you believe that he's a bad pick. Well, let me tell you, he was not my hope for Trump's pick to run with him. I really thought it should have been Ben Carson. That's my personal point of view. It's not, but you know what? It wasn't a bad pick. Out of all the individuals that were up there as potential picks, J.D. Vance was a fine pick. I don't think anybody would argue that point. Here's a man that came up from nothing and made a success out of himself, and he's not a dyed-in-the-wool politician, career politician, hasn't been. They may turn him into one, especially when the media jackals get a hold of him. But he gave a nice interview with, I believe it was Sean Hannity at the convention. Maybe it took place yesterday. I saw snippets of it. I'm not a Sean Hannity fan by any stretch of the means. I think he's a bloviator. But he gave a great interview. And he's good at interviewing. I have to give him that. And J.D. Vance was good at answering the questions and answered them straightforward, which is something you don't get out of Joe Biden, and you will not get out of Joe Biden unless it's on a teleprompter for him to read off. The man has cognitive problems. It's evident. And for people to go out and say that he's their pick is questionable at best.
He has dementia.
But they say Nancy Pelosi is making a phone campaign one more time to try and dump him. I don't know who she has in mind to put in. Kamala Harris has to be worried about a debate with J.D. Vance, given the fact that I've heard him speak yesterday and I've heard her speak several times. And that ought to be interesting, and I would buy tickets to be in the front row of that debate, because that would be something to go down in the history books. I'll guarantee that. She could giggle her way through it maybe, but she can't hold a candle to this guy.
Not one bit, sir.
He's a young man, 39 years old, about to turn 40, millennial, and has some great ideas. He's been a success in business. He was a success in the Marines. He wrote a best-selling book that turned into a movie. He's got all of the Rust Belt people at the heart of his thoughts, because that's where he came from, and he never forgot where he came from. And that has to worry the hell out of these swing states that are in the Rust Belt that Biden is trying so hard to hold on to. So we'll see where that goes. But listen, don't pay attention to these conspiracy theories that are all coming out. And if you think the FBI investigation, along with Mayorkas being involved in it, will ever render you an answer to what really happened, it's highly doubtful. You're just not going to see it. But it is what it is, and we'll get what we get out of it. They'll try their best to cover up anything if it points to something that may fall back on their administration in any way, shape, or form. They will cover it up. They've done it all along for the entire Obama administration and now for the entire Biden administration. It's a continuation of hope and change America into a third world country is what their change is. And it never got any better unless there was an interrupter that got in. And this is why they're so angry with them, because they had anointed Hillary Clinton to be the president, and no one in their wildest imaginations ever thought that Donald Trump could be elected. And guess what? Hillary Clinton and the Clinton bunch never got over losing to Donald Trump.
I told you, it's like getting beaten with a bag of oranges.
They still haven't. She hates Donald Trump for it, and she drives most of the bad stuff that's going on against him right now. And this lawfare situation is starting to come apart at the seams. The judge yesterday dismissed the charges from the Mar-a-Lago raid and gave a 97-page report, and it was not done overnight. There was a lot of thought and days of work that went into producing that report, and it was evident. So they can say what they want, that she did it to help him because he was almost killed. That's a lie, and it's a lie coming from mainstream media first, and then idiots that are on social media trying to convince you of something different. They don't want you to believe what you saw. They want you to believe different things that benefit them. And unfortunately, this is what our politicians have become. I've told you in the past, I don't believe in career politicians in any way, shape, or form. I think they should all be shunned. I think that we need to bring back a population of people that care about this country, that will leave their walk of life, come in, serve a term, serve 2 terms, and go back to what you know and what you've done and what you've been successful at, and bring that expertise into the job that you're qualified to take. And that includes administrative appointments by the president. When you pick someone, you need to pick someone with the ability to do the job. Diversity hires are one thing, but you don't put diversity hires with no experience into a job like transportation, like the head of Secret Service, the FBI, or any other organization that is important to the protection and survival of this country. It's common sense. But I think this whole diversity thing is going to go down the hill and go down the hill fast. It hasn't worked, nor has the Green New Deal or any of that connected with it. And we need to get rid of, out of our lawmaking abilities, these people that are sitting in the squad. Listen to what they're saying about this attempted assassination. They're not good people. They don't have America at heart. And they're not capable of being in the seats that they are. And who put them there? The Democrats put them there out of diversity in some cases, and out of the fact that they have heavy populations in their districts of foreign people that care more about their old country that they ran from than they do about the country of the United States of America.
Yeah.
God bless you all. I hope you have a great rest of the Tuesday. It's Taco Tuesday. Get out, get a taco, take a walk in the woods, take a swim in a pool, clear your mind, and stay away from mainstream media. And do not get into conflicts on social media with these morons that are coming up with these conspiracy theories about who shot who and who set this up, and it's a political ploy and all this other stupid nonsense that these people come up with. And in some cases, these are influencers that are doing this. And the people of hate that come out and say things like, you should have aimed better, and things of that nature, you should shun them completely. And if you're subscribed to those people, unsubscribe. You're supporting their idiocy if you're subscribing to their channel, and especially if you're paying for a channel membership. We here at the Kaiser Report are not endorsing any particular candidate. We like RFK Jr., and we think he should be protected by Secret Service. Biden's making noise now that he may approve that. Should have done it a long time ago. It took this to bring him around to thinking about it.
I'm confused.
This is how he destroys his competition, and it's the only way he can win. You have 2 viable candidates running against him. We should hear from both of them. They should have equal time. They should all be involved in the debates that happen, upcoming and past, but we haven't heard from him. unless you go on and search social media for somebody that has the chutzpah to sit down and interview the man and listen to what he has to offer this country as far as saving us from where we're headed right now. God bless you all. We love you here at the Kaiser Report. We'll never ask you for membership money, and we never will tell you an untruth or something that we haven't researched to make sure what we're telling you is the absolute truth. So with that, have a great, great Tuesday. Say a prayer for this country. Say a prayer for the man who lost his life and his family. And say a prayer for those people that were injured alongside of him. And say a prayer for your own family and the survival of them. God bless. Bye-bye now.